All right, this is going to sound like a bit of a loaded question, but is there anyone else out there that feels like school was really boring? Yeah, I know. I mean, I think most people would say yes to that in some regard. And as a result, I think a lot of people associate learning with boredom and pain and maybe anxiety, because of tests and projects and papers. And I think that's a real shame because, lots of people go through the education system, quote unquote, learning from disgruntled, underpaid, disinterested teachers. They're forced to learn about topics that they don't really care about at all. And as a result, when they leave school, people are like, all right, I'm done. I don't need to learn anymore. Thank God I'm done with school. And to be clear, I was fully in that mentality, with the exception of one audio production class I took and probably European history. I didn't care for anything that I was learning about. But the other day, I got onto YouTube and I was like, yeah, I'll watch something right now. I'm eating my breakfast. And I proceeded to spend basically the entire day just consuming videos, learning about geopolitics and economics and, what cultures are like across the world. I watched a lot of those POV videos where people go into local markets and talk with people in their language and, just so much interesting information. And I realized like, whoa, I've never really done that. I sat down and learned for like 8 hours. And you never could have caught me doing that back in school because it was always compulsory. It was always boring to me. I was learning about topics that I just didn't care about. Like in college, I studied game design. I wanted to go into the art side or the music side of that field, but I had to take calculus and physics. Like what? That's so misaligned with what I'm doing here. Of course, I'm going to hate it. And yeah, I know we got to be well-rounded, but on the internet, you can voluntarily learn about things that you actually care about and from people who actually care about what they're teaching. I had a few teachers that were good. They were genuinely very knowledgeable, passionate people. But the vast majority were just wet towels, dude. They did not care about their job. They just gave you a worksheet from like 1994 and called it a day. But, on YouTube, I mean, if you want philosophy and science, you've got Vsauce. If you want to learn about geopolitics and maps, you've got Johnny Harris. Or if you want ancient history about Rome, you've got Told in Stone. Now, all the podcasts, there's so many interesting people that come onto podcasts and all these passionate people giving away information for free. And not even for a second do I want to feed the just do YouTube instead of college education, bro, kind of mentality. Like, I'm not saying this is a substitute by any means, but what I am saying is that there is a virtually endless stream of educational content out there. But there's another really important point that I want to make. And it's that if you only learn from the education system, then you're pretty much barely scratching the surface of the world. You're only taking in information that has been very carefully curated to appeal to as many people as possible. I mean, not to mention it's probably extremely outdated. I mean, I'm sure the way that my mom learned is not that different than the way that I was learning in my school experience. But if you solely rely on your education from the schooling system, then you're very limited in your worldview. And also, there's fundamental things that you aren't even taught how to do in school. Like, taxes, hello? Or if you get a flat tire, school's not going to teach you how to do that. I mean, the first time that I ever had to tie a tie, I had to watch a YouTube video because I just wasn't taught that, right? I mean, you have to self-educate in many ways. So, you know what? Scroll up, click on that little search bar in YouTube and get to learning. I mean, I try to be pragmatic in how I word these videos. I don't want to preach too hard, but I just strongly recommend that you consider further education. Let's just say that. Learning can be really fun, and you just have to experience it in a manner that is most conducive to how you operate. Not everyone learns sitting behind a desk with some 40-year-old textbook put in front of them. A lot of people, myself included, need visuals. They need hand-on experiences. They need to learn about things that they never would have known about without the internet. Just, think about what's best for you and roll with that. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.